So, as said, we will now have a couple of people from the dedoc voices, from the community, talking about how they experience stigma in their own lived experience. And the first one is Ken Tait from the United Kingdom, from England. Ken, you live with type 2 diabetes. Tell us how you spell out stigma for yourself. Welcome to Doc Day.
Thanks for inviting me, Bastian and everybody else. And what a great videos these were from Australia. Well done, Australia. Yeah, I'm a type 2 person, and what does actually that mean to us? So let's look at the words. Stigma. S, which stands for shamed. It's our fault. It's been lazy. We've had a bad lifestyle, or maybe our body or weight is the wrong shape. T, technology, is deemed not necessary for us by certain people. I is for insulin. It is used as a threat because we didn't manage our diabetes right. G is guilt. It's what we have been made to feel for having type 2 diabetes or other types of diabetes. M is the media. As somebody says, media on the social media where they didn't feel safe, as Phyllis has said. And they perpetuate the myths of being lazy or having the easy or the good diabetes. These are not true. What I want to say is A, acceptance. We're not being accepted by the other type 1s as having the right diabetes. And you can see that, as I said, on social media. And another example is when somebody says, can you eat that cake? They say, I'm type 1, it's for the others, they can't. Othering is blaming others to deflect from you. However, you have just perpetuated the myth that people with type 2 diabetes or any type of diabetes can't eat cake. So let's accept. Let's accept working together. There are 422 million people with diabetes in the world. There are only 46 million people with type 1. Who has the bigger voice, the 422 or the 46? Working together, we have a louder voice. And as somebody said yesterday in one of the symposiums, diabetes has a soft voice. We need to be bolder. We need to shout out so that we can have the tech and support and to learn from each other so that we can all have a good quality of life. That is what we want. We want to be able to live life. As my endocrinologist in Edinburgh, even though I'm not there any longer, said to me years ago, after all, life is for living. And we want to be able to manage our diabetes, not the diabetes managing us. So by working together and being part of a bigger community, we will have a louder voice there for everybody to change the policy, to change life. So I think I'll finish at that because I could go on for hours. Thank you, Bastian.
Thank you, Ken. And I love how you define diabetes stigma from your own perspective by just putting words to the letters in that word. S for shame, T for the technology that's not necessarily considered to be for you, for someone with type 2. Insulin, you said, used as a threat, kind of, if you don't do well, then we'll have to put you on insulin. You talked about guilt, media, and acceptance for the letters of the word stigma. But I most of all like this calling out that you did, about working together and doing this together, because yes, indeed, I think the type 1 community has the much louder voice. We have a lot of very active diabetes advocates in the type 1 community, but in part we are, and I would even say that for myself, we are in part guilty ourselves of this divide in the communities, the type 1 versus type 2 kind of thing, where in fact we should all be working together, and we should use the voice that we have in the type 1 community to also advocate for the more silent majority of people living with type 2, the silent majority, but also the minorities of living with other forms of diabetes that might not have a voice because there are so few in comparison. So both, I think, is very, very important. And we will have another couple of perspectives on that, on type 2, and also we had Felissa speak very similar in the very beginning about her misdiagnosis and how that affected her. And we'll have, for the first time ever on Doc Day, in a few minutes, someone speaking with MODI diabetes, a group that doesn't have a loud voice out there. So thank you very much, Ken,